Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, just moving this camera slightly. Okay, yes, welcome. I am Crimey Queen, and I'm sharing my dream with you. My visions are one of many, particularly since the 15th of May, which was my birthday. I have had lots of visions, and very profound ones as well, which I believe really is presenting elements of the fifth and eighth dimension. Eighth dimension, which is one and the same, according to Mother Eve. Okay, so of course I shared one of my visions, trying to remember what it's termed, but it really was about, it's something about going through the fire 7 times. So yes, I believe that's what it is. And that was a very profound vision. So I'm believing this is a time when Mother Eve is really preparing us into what we are meant to be, the part, or we are meant to play, or whatever it is we are meant to specialize in, or be however we are meant to be. But I believe a lot of this information is coming through our visions, and the visions are also serving another purpose, which is mainly to let us know where we are at, or to guide us. And that's another thing, to guide us and to instruct us. So it's serving many reasons or many functions, and it's important that we get in tune with those visions. So I am also one who don't pay attention to all the visions that I have, but I am increasing my awareness of them, consciously wanting to acknowledge them and to get the messages that they are conveying. So one of the visions I had was being in a slight disagreement with someone who seemed to be like my soulmate, or if he weren't my soulmate, there was a cross reference with this individual in the vision, would be like my neighbor who lives above me, directly above me. But there's the figure would be as tall as the individual that I believe in the waking life to be my soulmate, who's quite tall, in contrast to my neighbor who's of average height. I had not made reference to having a soulmate before until I met this individual that I'm referring to as my soulmate now. It's a term that I had not really taken to lightly, in just thinking, well, I had not condemned it, but it's not something that I had felt was perhaps appropriate for me. I had not felt, in as much as I had been in love, and I had not felt the need to label someone as being my soulmate until just recently, because the connection had been so intense and so contrasting. It's the the person, the individual, is their image and everything about them. It seemed like everything about them is very contrasting, yet there is a very strong connection to that individual. And of course, in meditation, and the visions that I have had, I know I have had past life experiences with the individual. I know that we were in a car accident, and in fact there is a lot more to it. And in talking about numerical values, I get to realize, of course, because I work with numerology, I say work. I have fun with numerology. And we use the word work, you know. I suppose it's got the word or R in the middle of it, so that's fine. And we do share a lot of the same numbers. So that's where I was partly convinced as well that, yes, this is a soulmate. So having this argument like in this in the vision would represent a situation that I am experiencing in the waking life, that although I have not had this argument, but it seemed like there could be enough room to have an argument. In the vision, however, I had spoken my mind about something, and I was walking around a house. So we stood behind this house. I was onto this side of the house. He would be onto the rear of the house, and I was coming in. So I really walked my way around behind the house and came to this side of the house, and looked up above and saw the house was on fire. At the top of the house was on fire. And I said, oh, the house is on fire. And it's this is really my room in the house. I'm conscious about, so there are 3 floors, just like the other house, the other vision that I had. I seem to be dreaming of 3 floors, but the top floor happened to be where my belongings are. And for some reason, there's not like a door or stairway or something, but he manages, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. He manages to just go inside without the need, because while I'm thinking, well, maybe we should get the fire brigade or something, he just glides in. There's no steps or anything like that, and he quenches, distinguish the fire, and puts out the fire, and all my clothes, my belongings, were safe. He pulled them out and showed me that everything else that was burned, but all my stuff was safe, and they were in a coffin. Everything, could see all my clothes in a coffin. Now, and I thought, oh, before I could see all the clothes, towels, clothes in there, which was a very wide coffin. I don't think I would be needed such a wide coffin in the waking, or when I pass, you know. But it was a wide coffin. I thought, oh, it's a coffin. It's like a trunk in the shape of a coffin. And I thought, wow, okay. Now, it's one of those visions that I haven't given a lot of thought to its meaning. And I thought I would do this because usually while I am talking, the meanings really come through. So one of the things I know for sure, or I believe that the vision was telling me, that my soulmate, or there was a sense of assurance that my soulmate, in case I had any doubt, is really the person that I believe my soulmate to be. Which I hadn't been too worried either way. I'm quite happy, despite the strong connection that I feel with this person. But this to me is a representation of my house, my body, my mind. And while I am talking this through, I feel this is also saying this is the unconscious, SCIOUS. This is the subconscious, SCIOUS. And this is the conscious. Okay. Now, I'm just going through the motion of this, exploring this here. So it's as if this coffin with all my personal belongings have taken rise. It has been what has been in the unconscious plane and has taken rise and has come to the surface and has been purified. So the thoughts or sentiments or scenes, whatever was lying there in this state, has taken rise and has come and has become purified. They were the good clothes. I believe they were good clothes, but they didn't get burned and the coffin was there. So it's like as if this is also giving an image. It's as if my lifespan on this plane is all hair. It's as if it's all hair. It's as if to say, no matter what happens, everything that matters to me is intact. Everything that is of any importance is safe, and I do not need to worry about anything. That's what I saw here. As I say as well, the coffin was bigger than usual, and the clothes, they were sort of light colors. It's like I knew from the ground level, because I was standing on the ground level, and my soulmate, the person who helped me, was in there. While I am talking about this, it's as if there was somebody else in there as well. I'm wondering, yes, it's as if there was another individual there. But however, he got all my stuff out. Now, there's another aspect to this, is that he got all my stuff out. It's that the soulmate is presenting experiences or scenarios in my life that's really allowing me to get everything out. Things that I had not thought of before is now coming to the surface. Now, things like, for instance, that I had not or I would not ordinarily entertain is also coming to the surface, because this soulmate is actually seem very contrasting to the person I believe or see myself to be. Of course, and it is evident because the age comparisons, we have a wide gap in our age differences. It's really a very wide gap, and that had been, of course, that would be something for anyone to be concerned with, and not something that one takes on lightly. And so that in itself has presented me a lot of questions that I would have to go down from the unconscious level and to work with and bring it up to this point. So I am seeing this while I am talking about this. It's like, again, it's like my twin flame. Wow. So he is, of course, I said my soulmate, but I also believe it's my twin flame. My twin flame has gone up like he has gone really deep within my heart as well to um, to really help me discover aspects of myself that had been etched within me and I had not um, realized. So there would be aspects of perhaps if I was to ordinarily see a couple like the two of us on the street or thinking they'd be a couple, I would perhaps be inclined. I don't think now, but inclined to perhaps cast judgment um, or so. But it has put me in this predicament, or it's a situation rather, or scenario where I am now this individual with a partner who we share such a wide gap in our age. The age difference is so wide. It's almost unbelievable that almost, but now it is, that I would consider being with someone of that age. And so this I'm seeing as a real metaphor of one really helping me. As I say, there was not a door that to go through, but he just was able to be up there and put out the fire, and my clothes were, and all my personal belongings were safe. I think that's a positive dream. I think it's a positive scenario, that to see that, because the fire for me is definitely purification. The coffin is definitely a representation of finality, we could say, which also presents to me the question of my last day, so to speak. What is it like? What is it going to be like for me, or what would I like it to be? So, and what was my feeling about when I saw this? How was the feeling? So was I scared? No. I acknowledged that it was a coffin. It was my coffin. It was my suitcase or my clothes, and I was happy to have it safe. And I was very privileged and appreciative that it was and a little surprised too, a little surprised that it was actually safe. And I thought, wow, oh, so all my stuff, and it was only my stuff. So basically, whoever else was sharing, it seemed like there was someone else sharing this space with me. But whoever else was sharing this space, or whatever else was there, was perished. But all my the personal things, because I was thinking about my passport and things, personal stuff. And while the flame was going, I was thinking about, wow, so that's what it's like when people lose everything in a fire. Oh well, I will just have to start over again. And that was what I said to myself. Oh well, I will just have to start all over again. I was prepared to start all over again. I was not panicking or worried. I thought, I was just happy that I was still alive, and then to find out that all my personal stuff was intact. So this vision seemed to have presented quite a few scenarios here. For one, I had not been in communication with this individual for a while, a few months, and it's just seem like typical of this sort of relationship that when you encounter an experience that really makes you think or act in ways that you had not done before. So it means that you are delving into other areas or aspects of your being that you had not done. But it's really that it is presented to look at it to find healing. So I am quite aware it's that I am being forced to look at these aspects of myself so I can know myself in all areas. I can know myself fully, so I can know that my soul can be healed completely. So for the work or for my life's journey, for instance, one of the things that I really wanted to see myself is exercising non-judgment. I feel I do this, or if anyone really knows, or people around me would know me to be non-judgmental, I would say, from the feedback I get from them. But knowing my thoughts and myself, I really feel that there is more to work with. And so, for instance, with the scenario of seeing a couple in varied ages, where they age, or an older woman with a very young man, or a very old man with a very young woman, I would feel that this would be something it is not my business to judge, and it's to understand that there is a soul work that is required when those things are happening, which I believe is really the case for me. So there were aspects of myself that was I was unconscious about, and of course, having this encounter have presented me lots of thoughts that I have entertained subconsciously, and now I am given the opportunity to have clear discernment of what it is like that, or what I am meaning to achieve, or what is required of me to embrace the sense of wholeness that is required for the journey that I am on this fifth and eighth dimension, and that journey of the work, or the working that I am meant to prepare for. So for my specialist field in the heavenly universe, I call it the heavenly universe. Oh yes, I'm going to find something for it. The fifth universe or something. Okay, so it's the fifth dimension and the eighth dimension. That's what we are talking about. And it's that dimension. This is why Christ said, in my Father's house are many mansions. And so we see the many mansions ahead. That's what's coming out for me. I'm doing this exercise, and I've chosen to do this, of course, with in meditation or agreement with Mother Eve, that other people perhaps are going for similar visions, and by sharing this vision we could get a clearer understanding of our path in the fifth and eighth dimension, and how we prepare. So basically, as I say here, I believe this is presenting this top, the attic here. It's like an attic. Of course, the attic was on fire. So, wow, the attic, and it gives me a sense. It gives me a sense of elation as well, to understand that the purification of my mind has been processed. The purification of my mind has been processed, and to an extent that I feel, if one was to ask, are you ready if you were to die today? How would you feel if you knew you were going to die today? And because there's the coffin looking at you, if you were to, how would it be for you? Where are you at? Are you feeling that you are ready? And that's what I intended as well, to have every day be a day that I could be ready for whatever that I feel is required of me to do, or to be, or to have, or to say. Um, yes. So I don't know if anyone else is an expert at dream interpretation. It would be very interesting to hear your views on this. And I have not even looked, Googled part of this, because I like to explore my intuition and the messages, because I believe that Mother Eve, Divine Spirit, is working through me to, of course, help me explore these aspects of myself first, because I know my personality and my attributes come through. So even if there is a general tone for the meaning of something, I know my emotions and my own interpretation really do matter. So, but it doesn't mean that I can't entertain somebody else's, because this is what I have done with my neighbor, who's very good at interpreting dreams and has helped me with the other visions that I've had. So, so basically, there we were having, so the argument, wow, something, the argument or whatever troubles that we had is behind the house. So it's backward now, and we had come to the front, and I was able to see everything. So to the front, at the front, the face of anything, that's where you see things. So it was a little bit in the dark on the other side behind the house. But in this, coming to this side, so going around, it's like coming around full circle, and there is some scene happening. I am able to see the flames, and of course my soulmate is able to put out the flames and really get this, get me to see that I am intact and all my personal belongings are safe. I'm sure there is much more to this, but let me conclude on this. So let there be light, and there was light. And so that's what happens while I have talked about it. And as the days go by, or moments, then I see that there is more to all of, or more to the vision. I am grateful and thankful for this. Thank you for listening. If you like this, give us a like and share. Okay, thank you.